What's going on, guys? It's Matthew here with Gadget University, and I'm here with the Note 8 review. You may have seen it all over the news that Samsung is finally back with the successor to the Note 7. Now, last year, everyone knows the Note 7 had some issues with the battery and it caused them to explode, but Samsung has taken extra precautions to make sure that it does not happen again. They've even made the battery in this phone smaller. So I'm going to talk about the battery life, and I'm also going to talk about the camera, also about this Infinity Edge display. Those are some of my favorite features about this phone, aside from the S Pen. That is probably the most important reason why someone would get this phone over a Galaxy S8 or a Galaxy S8 Plus. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. So right off the bat, you're seeing a beautiful display. This is Samsung's new Infinity Edge display. As you can tell, the actual screen goes all the way to the bezel. It's really something you have to see in person to appreciate the size of it. So the screen is 6.3 inches, so it is much larger than your average phone. However, you see across the top you have a slight forehead and a slight chin on the bottom, and this phone is just beautiful, like I did say before. I have this in this silver color right here, and you can probably tell right off the back. Hey, you can see my reflection. This is a glass back, which means that it is Qi wireless supported. However, because this phone is so big and it is pretty slippery, I would recommend getting a skin or putting a case over this phone, because you will crack either the front or rear glass. Now, it is Gorilla Glass, so it is scratch resistant. So if you are one of the daring people out there that like to use your phone without a case, you probably could get away with it and not run into too many issues. Across the bottom, you have your USB-C port, your headphone jack, which is a rarity these days. They are slowly going away. You see some antenna lines, which is always good with a glass and metal body on a phone. You always want to see antenna lines that let you know that the signal is going to come through nice and clear and give you the best speeds and voice quality. Right here you have the only speaker, and this is one of the downfalls of this phone. There's only one speaker, so if you accidentally cover it while you're holding it, you will not hear a thing. It sounds like you know a phone inside of like a couch or something like that. But as you can tell, this display is beautiful. It is very high resolution, 1440 by 2960. All that mumbo jumbo means is that text is extremely clear. So when you're using the phone, you're going to experience no lag. I cannot make this lag. Some say Samsung phones lag after a couple months. I have never owned one long enough to really see it lag, but Samsung really took their time with this phone and they packed a lot of features. You get like the best processor on the market. You get the best graphics processor on the market. You also are going to get 6 gigs of RAM. What that translates to is, people always ask me, should I get this computer with this hard drive or this RAM? Just to explain it really quickly, RAM is going to allow you to do a lot more at once. So there's some speed tests out there on the net that you guys can look up if you go on YouTube, and you'll see that while the iPhone 8 and the 8 Plus versus this phone or the S8, Samsung is always going to be able to handle more applications at once than, let's say, an iOS device. Other Android devices typically have 3, 4, 6, sometimes 8 if you're the OnePlus 5 gigabytes of RAM, and that allows you to do a lot at once, and also allows apps to stay open longer. So if you go through the day and you open up 10 apps, and by the time you go to the 10th app, you decide, I need to go back to that very first app. Odds are, if you're on this phone, the exact same point that you were in the app, whether it's a game or Microsoft Excel or Google Docs or something like that, you'll be exactly where you were. It wouldn't have to refresh or do anything like that. So let's talk about this camera, man. Dual 12 megapixel cameras, dual LED flash, and you got your fingerprint reader right here. But this camera right here is phenomenal. It has optical image stabilization inside, which means that you're gonna get stable picture with your hand. You're gonna get really good pictures in low light because of the camera shake, so it adjusts for all of these different things. Across the top, you got nothing. And across the top of the front of the phone, you're gonna have your front facing camera. It comes with Android 7.1. They are expected to update it to the latest version of Android this fall. Of course, Samsung takes some time because they have to go through carriers and things like that. This is the Verizon variant, and also I do want to thank Verizon for sending this out for review. I forgot to do that at the beginning of this video, but you guys know I don't really buy Android devices anyway, so if I do have them, odds are they are from Verizon and it is a review unit. I did test this for about 2 weeks, and during my time I got great battery life all day plus some. I really enjoyed wireless charging. Most people have been experiencing wireless charging for a long time, but since I recently got an iPhone 8, I had a wireless charger around and I tried that out, and I thought it was pretty cool how it works with either phone, because it does use the Qi wireless standard. So on the phone, you're gonna have 64 gigabytes of memory, so you can store a lot of your music and your photos offline. Also, of course, you have Google Photos where you get unlimited uploads of your photos. You're gonna have a lot of bloatware. There's several games on here. You can go in and remove them, things like Yelp and some Final Fantasy game, Empire, Panda Pop, things like that. That's stuff that Verizon kind of puts on the phone to, get you started, get you used to, in-app purchases and all those different things. Here's are some of the apps I've been using on it. Of course, Facebook, eBay, Netflix, things like that. I tried out Netflix so I could see some 4K video and see what that looks like on a phone. Looks phenomenal, although this isn't a 4K display, it's just a QHD display. So other than that, guys, the question begs to differ is this the best Android phone you can get right now? And to be honest with you, yes, it is the best phone you can get. Now, if you get it on in the States, it's $940, $960, depending on what carrier you get it on. So that is a lot of money. Based on what is inside this device and the reasons why I would recommend this device over any other Android device, you really have a lot. If you want to save some money, you can go down to the S8 Plus or even down to the S8, and the experience would be very, very, very similar. The only differentiator is that S Pen. So let me show you this S Pen really quick. So I'm not really a note person, so I haven't really used this on a day-to-day basis, but I did find this pretty handy. When you lock the phone and you pull the stylus out, the S Pen rather, you can take notes, and it even makes a little drawing noise. You can hear it. That's the sound of my pencil writing on this electronic paper. It's very smooth, very responsive. I'm very familiar with the Apple Pencil and the Wacom pencils, and this is really good. This has a nice, good feeling to it. Good sense of depth, good sense of pressure. Has great palm detection, so it doesn't mess up. Works really good. So if you're a person that want to go a lot, or you need to take notes a lot, this is really cool because you can just pull your phone out, pull this out, and just start writing. And then at the top right here, you can actually save it to your notes and get back to it later. And it's not all black with white lettering. It transposes it later on, so you can look at it in a brighter screen, by the way, if you were wondering that. So, like I said about, is this the best phone to get? Yes, it is. I think it is the best phone to get. However, there are other options out there, and there are others that are coming out. You have the Pixel 2 on its way, probably going to be announced this week. You also have the V30 that should be coming out. If you are interested in mobile photography and you are interested in the S Pen, then this is the best phone to get out there. Great phone, great battery life, wireless charging. You got a lot of storage. Oh, there's an SD card slot that you can put up to 256 gigabytes of storage in there. And other than that, top-notch phone. Samsung really built on what they did right with the Note 7, besides the blowing up part, and they combined some of the technology from the S8 and S8 Plus all into this device. And this is there's not one feature this phone does not have. I cannot think about anything else. It's waterproof, IP68 certified, has pretty much everything. Well, this has been my review, guys. I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions down in the comments, please let me know. I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.